You want shirts? I got shirts.
It's only a game. Why you have to be mad?
What is up, heroes of Dominion? My name is Charlie. This is Hero Wars Central, and today we're going to talk a little bit about the two types of healers that there are available in the game of Hero Wars and Hero Wars Mobile. But before I get into that, if you are a new player, and this video is designed to help new players, and you find this video helpful, then consider subscribing, turning on that notification bell, and maybe give this video a like, as the YouTube algorithm will put videos like this in front of new players just like you if you do all of the above. So what are the two types of healers as I break them down? Well, there are two types. There are pure healers, and those are characters that's sole purpose is to not only provide a little bit of utility, but primarily to heal your team. And we have, of the list of healers, there are four, and I'll go over each of them and where to get them in just a second. And then we also have hybrid healers, and hybrid healers are those heroes that have healing ability, but maybe their primary function isn't necessarily to heal your team. They are helpful in varying degrees, depending, as we go down the list of 5 or 6 or so heroes. Some heroes are included in teams for other utility than their healing skills, and other heroes are in there for their healing. So, what do I mean by that? Well, pure healers, they're going to be like Thea, for example. You get Thea day one. Thea has a little bit of utility, and she's helpful at in all stages of the game. However, you would put her in a team that would that's designed to not kill the enemy very quickly. You would put her in a team that's more control, more defensive, more slow, methodical. In the grand scheme of things, and this video isn't about this, in the grand scheme of things, Thea is more on the fast healing, the quick healing side of things, whereas other healers are more slow over time, methodical healers. But again, I don't want to really get into that too much. Whereas on the hybrid side of things, take Nebula as one example. Nebula is a great support hero. She's included in a lot of teams for her other abilities. She does do a little bit of healing, but she's in the team for other reasons. So let's quickly talk about each of the 4 pure healers, and then we'll talk about the 6 hybrid healers and why they're effective or not effective. So we have 4. I mentioned Thea already. You get Thea's soul stones from the campaign. You also get her soul stones from the daily heroic chest if you are lucky or unlucky, depending on how you look at it. Thea is a strong healer. She's got a great single target heal, a great area of effect heal, and she does well with her speed boost and her enemy silence as well. Very clearly utility skills there. Is she the best healer in the game? We're not doing that in this video. We're not doing this in the video. Marcus is the next healer we're going to talk about, as he's probably the second easiest pure healer to get. Marcus soul stones can be had from the Grand Arena Merchant. You can get 5 of his soul stones for 500 Grand Arena coins. It takes roughly 10 days at the very lowest tier in order to get 5 of his stones. Marcus does not provide much utility, but he does provide a lot of healing. Where he is in the tier list of healers, again, we're not here to talk about, but Marcus is a good healer, and he's the second healer that you get. The other 2 pure healers in the game, Dorian and Martha, can be had from either special events or from the daily heroic chest. Those are the only places you can get Dorian and Martha soul stones. And depending on the age of your server, Martha might not even be available in your soulstone chest, your heroic chest, I should say. And I don't really want to get into that in this video about what's fair and what's unfair about old versus new servers, but just know that eventually Martha will be available in your heroic chest. That's the chest that you open up each day if she's not currently there. All right. Short of that, there occasionally are events where you have a chance to get Martha soulstones. Same with Dorian. You can only get him from the heroic chest. And as far as the pure healers go, they all 4 have their place. They all 4 have great teams that they're best in. They have teams that they're not best in, but they're best in, teams that need a lot of healing. Okay. Contrast that with some of the hybrid healers, and there are, like I mentioned, there are 6. The first one that you have access to is the the hero Phobos, and you usually get Phobos like day 1, day 2, of playing the game. You get him pretty early. Usually you get him out of a chest. And Phobos he's an interesting hero. He's got a couple of fun boss stun abilities that make him very useful. We're not going to get into that right now, but he does have his Dark Deal ability, which will heal the ally with the lowest health while doing damage to the enemy. In the scheme of hybrid healers, I wouldn't really use him much outside of his boss stun ability, but you do get his soul stones from both the heroic chest as well as campaign missions, so pretty easy to get there. The next campaign hybrid healer that you can get access to is the Witch Doctor Mojo. And Mojo has a couple of other fun abilities. I talked a little bit about Mojo in my last video about one of the good heroes, one of the safe heroes to invest in if you don't have, a clear goal in mind. But he does have an area of effects heal, which is okay. But you don't really put Mojo in your team for his heal. You put him in there for his ultimate, his totem, and you also put him in there for his violet ability that does a lot of damage over time to bosses. So good choice there. If you need somebody, if you're desperate to find a healer, he's probably a little better than Phobos, but not by much. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about some of the vendor heroes. That's kind of the next thing on the list. You have Maya, and Maya on Facebook can be had from one of the vendors, from the regular arena shop. On mobile, you can't get Maya from there. You have to get Maya soul stones from either an event or the heroic chest. And I believe that there is a Maya event later this month, maybe? I'm not sure. I can't remember the leaks. But Maya, often thought to be a very strong healer because she does have her ultimate Queen of Flowers that does a good amount of healing, but she's actually more of a damage dealing mage. Right, so I'm not sure you would want to find a home for her if you need healing on your team. She's okay in a pinch, but because of the difficulty in getting her soul stones, especially on mobile, I don't know that I would invest a lot in her as a healer. Definitely look at her as a hybrid healer, support, damage dealer if you already have another main healer in your team. So again, we're talking about deck building 101 here. This is basic stuff for you higher end. In-game players. Obviously, this is pretty straightforward for you guys, but just kind of talking through these heroes individually for our new friends. The next vendor hero is going to be Nebula. Now, Nebula on mobile can be had by being in a guild that is earning silver trophies each week. And on Facebook, she can be had by competing in the cross-server tournament of the elements and turning in the weekly scrolls that you get for participation to buy her soul stones. And I believe you can get her from, actually, I'm pretty certain you cannot get her from the heroic chest. Oh yeah, you can, excuse me. Especially on Facebook, once you own her, I believe you can get access to her there. But her ability Serenity will restore the health of nearby allies, but she's more in your team for the Equilibrium ability, which boosts the physical and magical attack of allies next to her. So while she does provide a little bit of healing, she's more often in teams to buff your other heroes, to buff the damage output of your other heroes. Very strong support hero here. Definitely a very, probably a top 5 hero in the game. But when it comes to healing, I don't look to Nebula as a main healer. I would use Nebula in a team that is trying to kill very quickly. I would use Nebula in a team that already has a main healer. I would use Nebula in a team that's looking for a boost to damage. Okay, Nebula is a very strong hero, but not a primary healer. And second to last is the hybrid healer / mage, Celeste. She's not a mage. She's a healer control. So Celeste is probably one of the, if not the best single target healers in the game. However, Most of this game is played on auto, which means she uses her ultimate ability as soon as she has enough energy. And the design of Celeste is toggling back and forth between her light form and her dark form. And her light form does amazing single target healing, removes negative effects from your allies, whereas the dark form will do damage to the enemy and prevent healing on the enemy. So if you could keep her in her light form 100% of the time, she would probably be the best single target healer in the game. And you could use her like you could use Nebula in a fast attack team where you're trying to kill the enemy quickly, or you can use her as a secondary backup healer on your team. But often she's used to do a little bit extra damage and to prevent healing on the enemy team. Unfortunately, the only way to get her on mobile is through purchasing a couple of packages, no matter how small. I believe if you make 2 purchases in a row, whenever you first start the game, you can get access to Celeste. You can also get her during special events. However, on Facebook, you can get her soul stones from chapter 14 and 15. Chapter 14 and 15 aren't in the mobile version of the game yet. And you can also get her soul stones from the heroic chest on both platforms. Okay. All right. So the final hybrid healer that we want to talk about today is the goblin. Is he a goblin? And that's Jet. So Jet is put into a lot of teams to boost damage. He does provide a little bit of healing, a little bit of health regen with his ultimate ability. So he increases the physical attack bonus of one hero whenever he uses his ultimate. And he also gives that player, that hero a little bit more health as well. So, again, you can kind of see that this hybrid healer, he's included for his utility more than his healing. He does provide healing, and he's in one of the most efficient, fast attack, fast killing teams in the game in the Kira mixer or Kira blender teams. Jet is an integral part. You can only get access to Jet's soul stones from the merchant, the soul shop in the merchant. And the only way to get access to the soul shop is if you absolute star one of your other heroes. Get your tank to 6 stars, get your damage dealer to 6 stars, and then eventually you'll get access to the soul shop. You'll be able to buy a couple of Jet's soul stones every day, and eventually you'll unlock them. Eventually you'll get them to absolute star, and away you go. So this video, like I mentioned at the top of it, was designed to kind of talk through the 2 types of healers. A new player might earn Maya somewhere by accidentally looting her from the chest, maybe getting her soul stones in an event, and say, hey, Maya's ultimate ability has some healing on it. Maybe I should use her as my main healer instead of Thea. While your team might be okay doing that, it's not generally the right idea to substitute a pure healer for a hybrid healer, unless, of course, that's the design of your team. If you're trying to be on the defensive, if you're trying to be on the more control side, then you're going to want to use more pure healers in your team. If you're going to be more on the offensive, or if you already have a pure healer and you're looking for a little bit of utility, that's where the hybrid healers come in. So just to kind of recap things, the pure healers are Thea, Marcus, Dorian, Martha, and the hybrid healers are Phobos, Mojo, Maya, Celeste, Nebula, and Jet. So yeah, I really like getting back to these new player videos. I know that's where my videos started. That's kind of getting back to my roots, getting back to what I know and can do the best. So I hope you guys enjoyed this style of video. Even you long-term players maybe found a little bit of this useful. Hopefully that would be great. If not, that's fine. But on screen, I got a couple other videos you might want to check out, you new players. And if you do check those videos out, I will see you there. If not, that's fine. Watching this video was good enough for me. I love you all, and good luck in Dominion.